Brosplay!
Alright, welcome back. I gotta rebuy that stuff.
You have to buy things?
Yeah, I didn't save.
Wait a minute. Are you telling me that you can purchase weapons in third world desert countries with diamonds?
Only if you have a computer.
That has a fucking 3.5 inch floppy disk insert, yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Did you ever hear the joke? Old lady walks into a room. Her husband has his pants down, and he's very close to the computer. And she says, "No, it says insert your 3.5 inch floppy disk." Pause for laughter.
Oh my god, have you seen the
bang on snare drum? Everybody laughs.
My favorite one is this man turns over to his wife and says, it's not gonna be my birthday today. Do you know how old I'm gonna be? She says, stand up. He stands up and she says, pull down your pants. Pulls down his pants. She just reaches up, touches his balls a little bit, and she goes, you're gonna be 68. And he says, wow, how did you know that? You told me this morning.
Oh, every so often somebody will tell me one of those jokes, like one of those ones that takes way too fucking long to tell, and at the end it's basically just like all of the information you heard was useless, and I'm going to tell you the actual situation, right?
Yeah.
Like that one.
Yeah.
Like the touching of the balls has nothing to do with this scenario, and it's just like, I don't know you. Please don't tell me those jokes.
Yeah, when random people do.
Yeah. The bus is a great place to hear terrible stories.
Well, it's always tough when people just talk to you as if they know you. Because it's one thing when you know someone's sense of humor, but to just tell a joke that's just way off sides. It's just awkward. Yeah.
Was that a Rickyism?
No, actually, that's my buddy from Montreal used to say.
Offsides?
Yeah, if something was offside, it was just like, it's not right.
She's got droopy boobs.
She does kind of have droopy boobs, but it sounds like she's good with a gun.
I mean, that's really more important to me in a woman.
The droopy boobs or the gun?
That she can handle a firearm.
Oh, okay. Well, of course. Of course. What if the world ends?
Yeah, I mean, then where your droopy boobs getting you, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not like they're going to win you any points after the apocalypse. Give me the tapes! Give me the tapes, Gakumba!
Is that his name?
Yeah, Leon Gakumba.
Okay, I thought that was just racism.
Give me the tapes! They just want to talk and talk and talk. There we go.
That'd be so great if you could actually interrupt it and it seriously changed like his opinion of you. Like he wouldn't help you anymore because you just fucking took that shit from him.
Yeah.
Give me the capes.
You got two in Leon's face and he pretty much told you you're gonna die of malaria.
Yeah, it reminds me though. Maybe I laughed about that joke harder because that's what my buddy Ben called a cucumber, a Gakumba.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
In the Overcooked video, he was like, I gotta get more Gakumbas.
What did she just say?
I don't know, I wasn't reading it.
I swear she said the price of a child. I just don't know don't know what she was referring to.
Maybe she was talking about the pricelessness of a child. Like this thing is worth no money.
Oh, it's priceless like a child?
Yeah.
Interesting. Isn't there a Slipknot song that says that?
Mindless like a child.
Oh, mindless like a child. That's what it was. Yeah, that's what it was.
Consume the bitch, the fucker. Mindless like a child. Kind of did that more like more
almost like Rob Zombie.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks.
That's okay. Yeah, for sure, dude.
That's okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
That's okay for doing something good.
Yeah, it's like, well, you know what? I was actually saying this the other day. There is no way when somebody says thank you that you can just say, of course. Like, there's no way you can do that. You can say, no problem.
I'm pretty sure I've heard an NPC say that before.
We say what? Of course?
Of course.
But it just sounds so it sounds so pretentious.
What's funny is that you're welcome.
Yeah.
Implies more, like the original version of that means that you are welcome to what I have done in the future.
Yeah, like don't thank me because you are welcome to this.
Right.
That's what seems so weird to me.
Yeah.
Or if you say no problem.
But then people use it as a ironic thing. They're like, you're welcome.
Yeah, which
Am
it just seems so weird. That's why I wish you could just say acknowledged when someone says thank you.
I deal with a bunch of dudes who don't say anything.
Message received.
So like most of the time when they say like yep, I actually don't take it personally. Like they're just
Hey, that's a good one. Yep.
They're
That's
just
okay.
not. Yeah, the one thing though, like if I say how's it going, don't fucking say good, and just leave it at that. All right.
That's a double-edged sword though. You got to make sure you're.
If you don't want to be part of that, say hi. Like cancel out my how's it going with hey. Because
I do that.
How's it going is very frequently used as a greeting. Sometimes I say how's it going and they say how's it going and then I don't answer because he didn't answer.
I hate that. I fucking hate that.
Yeah, well, it's you got to deal with the practical element of your.
Yeah, so that's why I do what you were just saying. I just say hi.
Right, but when you say how's it going and they're like good, and then they don't say anything else, it feels like a bit of a fuck you.
I just hate when you're walking past somebody and it's hi. How's it going? Good. How are you? And then like they're like 10 feet away by the time they have to go to say good.
I always imagine like two people on an escalator trying to have a conversation. Like that's how fast it should be.
Or you have to like as you walk past them, you slip one of those little like radios in their pocket, and it's like, I'm good.
Oh fuck. You know the communicators from Star Trek are like our phones nowadays do more. They just don't communicate with space.
Wait, what do you mean communicate with space?
Like they couldn't like on Star Trek they could talk to each other on the ground to their ship in the air, like in space, right? But that's all they could do. They couldn't take photographs. They couldn't use it as a calculator. There weren't any apps that tracked information.
That's true.
It was like it's kind of like Star Wars being a long time ago, but also having some technology that's like incredible. It's like Star Trek had like space communication technology, but didn't have cameras.
Yeah,
they hadn't considered that like maybe we might want to capture light in some fashion.
Well, I just don't think that they expected that cameras were going to get as much better as they did.
That's the weird thing was that cameras existed when they made Star Trek. It's just weird that they didn't. I mean, maybe.
Well, and that's what I mean.
Maybe we haven't seen enough of Star Trek to know that there is, but.
Well, I just think that they knew there were cameras, but I just don't think they realized cameras were going to get so infinitely better than they were at the time.
But it was like the 80s, man. They had the idea for cell phones in the communicator, but it didn't do what a portable camera could do at the time.
No, that's a good point.
I think part of Star Trek is that like there's a reason why the characters aren't geared up to the tits with fucking grenades and shit. Like they set their phasers to stun pretty frequently because the show is about ideas, like similar to Doctor Who. It's not
it's not about
action.
Real war.
And Gene Roddenberry, I believe is his name, the guy who the creator and the mind behind the original. Somebody asked him a question about Lieutenant Uhura being the second in command and being a black woman, and asking him about like wouldn't that be an issue for them? Like wouldn't it be an issue that she's black? And he says by that time it won't matter.
And he's probably right.
Yeah, I think he's totally right. I think
by then it's going to be like, those dirty Martians.
When we move out to space,
Yeah.
we won't be focused on gender or race anymore. We'll now be focused. It would be more of a class-based system. You'll have a problem with the people out on the further reach because they're like the
belters, dude.
Yeah,
this is why I was telling you about the Expanse.
I figured you were gonna bring up the Expanse.
Yeah. I shouldn't have thrown that grenade. God damn it.
Since when is throwing a grenade in a ceasefire zone considered an act of aggression? I mean, come on.
Oops. Oh, man. But yes, definitely.
I thought that guy had a spear. He's just like, die.
So the communicators that they have in the Expanse are essentially just a piece of plexiglass, and then it's sort of like almost like a hologram projects out of the plexiglass.
Smart.
So it was neat because it's essentially a cell phone that would be modernly, but it's just more connected.
It's also really, really easy to do, making the TV show.
Yes, big time.
That was one of the, actually not one of, that's like the big thing about Travelers, is there's so much done that is done in the form of an idea and not a visual effect. Like, They heal somebody with nanites. They don't show you what they do. They just show the person getting better. They have communicators that are under the skin in their neck. They don't show you, like, they don't have to show you anything because it's just there.
Huh.
It's fucking awesome. I love that show. I highly recommend that show. Stop throwing grenades.
I forgot what
Look at the trees.
They survive.
Do they deserve that? Look at them waving back and forth, dude. Games just don't do that
How
anymore,
did they
man.
survive?
Games just don't put the attention into smaller things anymore. It's about expanding. It's about the expanse.
Well, you were mentioning how the people on the outside no one would care about, and that is the exact plot of the Expanse. So there's Mars, which is an actual colony, was a colony of Earth and is now an independent nation. There's Earth, obviously, Luna, which is just the moon, and then the Belt, which is people who live in the asteroid belt between Jupiter and Mars. So the people who live on the planets don't give a shit about the people who live out in the belt.
Mm-hmm.
And what was really interesting was the number of people that had living on moons in the show. Because I didn't even think about that. You know, yeah, we're going to live on our moon, but there's tons of other moons out there.
Oh, dude, there's some planets with like 12 moons.
Yeah, Jupiter, I think, has something in that neighborhood.
You just got to make sure that none of them are going to run into each other.
And there's a moon that gets blown up, and someone's like, well, the moon was in the flag, so I kind of redid the flag and with debris instead of a moon.
Oh.
So it's so ruthless.
Yep. Our problems are... We kind of just exchange problems. We just have new ones. We have new enemies. As soon as one enemy goes away, the what are they called?
The new enemies?
The media manages to just put a spotlight on the new one. The greatest, probably the most successful campaign of demonizing is drugs, because it's just this giant blanket of hate and misunderstanding for only a specific set of drugs. Like Percocet, that's not a problem.
Yeah, no one
Valium,
cares.
don't worry about it. Cocaine, though, devil.
Yeah, it is really weird how that happens.
And granted, like, I'm not saying that I want it all to be just like legal and free, but I think that once you say you're not allowed to have this thing, you create a criminal underworld that profits from that thing.
Yeah, well, this is what really freaked me out. I heard an economist saying that if you look at the war on drugs purely from an economic standpoint, the job of the United States is to protect the cartels.
Oh.
When you look at it purely through money, because if the states legalized drugs, the cartels would lose all their money.
Okay.
So the reason that the cartels are able to make all that money is because it's illegal. If it weren't illegal, people could go to the store and buy it, and they wouldn't send that money to the cartels.
Right.
So the idea is...
Oh, right. You're saying that as a byproduct of the war on drugs, it is promoting the... Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If they ended their war on drugs, they would cut off the funding to the cartel.
Right.
But they won't.
Well, that's not... I mean, they would for now, but a cartel is always going to find a new source of income. In fact, that was actually one of the parts of the second Sicario film, is that they were saying that nowadays, with so many people having such a hard time getting from outside of the states illegally into the states, that they make significantly more money moving people than they do drugs.
That makes sense.
Yeah, they'll always find something, but the point is, we've already said the point.
Have you heard anything about these marijuana grow-ops they're starting to do in the States?
No.
So they'll send a few people in to just go find a random spot out in the woods somewhere. And
Who's these? Sorry.
These are the cartels.
Oh, really?
They'll send cartel members into the States, and they will go and set up a grow operation just in the middle of the woods somewhere, and they'll just dam up the water. But what's starting to happen is, because they're so poorly maintained out there, they're using these pesticides that are not only banned, they're actually deadly enough to kill you if you smoke the plant itself.
Oh.
Yeah, and so now what's happening is these U.S. rangers, like these forest rangers, park rangers, game wardens, they're supposed to be out there enforcing hunting rules, and now they're getting into gunfights with cartels.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a really big deal, man. And again, they wouldn't be able to do that if there was legal marijuana operations, because no one would pay for it.
Well, people will. I mean, there's always going to be the illegal side, right? Like,
People still buy moonshine. I guarantee it.
Absolutely. And it's so easy to forget when you live in a city just how much dense wilderness there is, even in the countries with like not a lot. It's still a crazy amount of space that allows someone to just find a spot just anywhere in the jungle or the forest
where no one's looking,
and just start something. And as long as you do it in a quiet fashion, you can do that for a long time. Oh no!
I'm sorry. Goat. I guess this is a friendly safe.
There was an episode of I thought she was swinging a sword at you.
Hey girl.
There was an episode of Letterkenny where they find a small grow up on their property, and they just harvest it and try to sell it.
Oh man! Someone the other day was asking me about the expression darts, like referring to cigarettes, and I said, they said, why is that a redneck expression? And I said, well, really, it's I think an Ontario redneck expression. And he's like, yeah, I know, I've seen Letterkenny, but like, where did it come from?
It's because they look like darts.
Do they though?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
I don't think they do look like darts.
I mean, they're certainly similar.
There's no wings. There's no pointed end. They're sticks, for sure.
I mean, is that important?
What, that they look like darts?
Grenade launcher, brother.
No.
Brother.
No.
Grenade
no.
launcher, brother.
No.
Brother.
You're talking about how they jam.
Grenade launcher.
Jam, brother. Jam.
Jam.
It's all about that jam.
Jam launcher.
Sorry. I didn't mean to run you over. Did not mean to drive my car.
In the third game, you'd be able to skin him.
Ooh, so it wouldn't be a waste.
Yeah, but you're also encouraged to just go around killing
Massacring
things
them,
for more stuff. I don't like that. I don't think that weapon slots should be unlocked. I think that they should just be there. I think you should design your game around it, instead of getting me to kill a bunch of jaguars so I can have an extra crossbow.
Dude, you should just make new maps and up-res this game and just re-release it. I would play that shit for hours. I would. I really would just keep playing this game.
Can you put forests and shit into like the map editor?
Yeah, I think so.
Can you make actual levels? I don't think you can. I think you have to make multiplayer levels. I don't think you can make actual game levels.
There just wouldn't be any missions. That'd be the thing.
But can you put NPCs in the game?
I think so.
Really?
Yeah, you could probably make your own challenges. There just wouldn't be any actual like true missions. But if you knew what the missions were,
that'd be crazy if we just did like an episode where you played one of my levels. That's like, I really want to get Mario Maker for that reason. I want to make levels for you to play.
You see that he tackled his friend into the car.
Yeah. Makuba. We're at Makuba.
We are?
We're on our way to Makuba.
Oh.
That guy died.
Yeah, the way they go down is sometimes really awesome.
Yeah, I think it'd be really cool if I could make levels and then sit here and watch you play them.
Force me to play them. I think that'd be pretty sweet too.
Yeah, and then you could like get mad about bad game design, and I could be like,
well, for once I could actually blame the developer.
Or
directly.
I wouldn't. No. I wouldn't tell you which ones are mine.
Some of these I found online. Some of these are my own.
I think it'd be really cool. It seems like a really cool tool to make games. There's the guy Iga. I don't know his full name, but he's responsible for the more modern Castlevania games. He has an account on Mario Maker, and he's made some Mario levels, and it's fucking awesome. He made a Castlevania level where you play as Mario, but you go through it and you beat it like a Castlevania level.
Really?
Like he replicated like one of the first levels. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
It was fucking awesome.
Oh my god, you saw that, right?
Yeah.
These enemies.
There's a guy behind you though.
Oh man, these enemies.
Did you just not?
I guess he thought it would be faster to get a vehicle. I really want to shoot somebody who ends up on the ground because we haven't seen that yet.
Because they writhe in pain.
And then they get up and they start shooting at you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not like Rainbow Six where they just like fall and they can immediately start crawling, or like Call of Duty where they just fall straight down with a gun in their hand. But
or drop a grenade.
Oh my god. Oh, that was my favorite thing, man.
That's so dumb.
That, I would say, is one of the first times where I really wrap my head around how game design actually works.
Yeah.
Because I recognized that there was something wrong with the fact that... Okay, so back up a little bit. Thank you. Oh my god, we just closed the window and now I can see. So when you play Call of Duty, there's this thing called Last Stand, where when you die, you fall on the ground and you pull out a pistol so you can shoot people. But for whatever reason, you only have slots for grenades. You don't have a slot for a secondary grenade, like a flashbang. So what I did is I would hold a flashbang in my hands, and when somebody knocked me into Last Stand, it would get converted to a regular grenade because you weren't allowed to have flashbangs.
Oh.
So I would just have a grenade, and for whatever reason, it didn't let you hold it. You had to throw it. So people would come around the corner, they'd shoot me, and I would instantly throw a grenade at their face and kill them. It was so unfair.
Heal up, bro.
Just so unfair.
Yeah, but then on top of that, you had martyrdom too, didn't you?
No, I always hated martyrdom.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny, though. The bugs and shit like that are like one of the best things about multiplayer games. Like finding out how somebody abuses it is very telling of how the developer thought about it before they did it, right?
Or how little they thought about it, depending
Well,
on
most
what
of the time
happens,
it is
yeah.
that way, yes. I just played a game that didn't have a fucking full screen mode on PC, if you can believe that.
Like you had to play windowed?
It's windowed borderless.
Huh.
Yeah.
So, what is the ultimate difference? Because you still have a Windows bar at the bottom, right?
Well, you do if you bring your mouse to the bottom of the screen, yeah.
But otherwise it covers it up.
In general, from what I've heard, a single person on a forum tells me that Windows 10 doesn't care whether it's full screen or Windows borderless, which is why it's not a problem. They're claiming that there's no performance change. But I'm pretty sure exclusive full screen, which is different than full screen, is actually an important performance improver. There's a website, or not a website, there's a YouTube channel called Digital Foundry, and they do performance reviews on games. So like the first people I go to when I'm going to buy a game, it's like performance. Then I go to Digital Foundry, and they'll tell you like down to like specific instances. Like in this area, the frame rate drops down to 30, and in this area it doesn't, and shit like that.
So that's pretty cool that they give you just the analytical look at it.
Yeah, well, they'll also go through all the options on a PC game, and they were going through one where he's like, there's no exclusive full screen mode in this, and the other guy's like, he's like, yeah, I know, you're a little upset about that.
Interesting. So it's something that maybe the regular gamer might not notice, but it definitely is a big problem for you.
Oh, the regular gamer could be given a slideshow and a controller and believe that things are all right.
Yeah, fair enough. I've heard somebody say before that they wished that there was a little thing that would pop up and tell you what to do.
Yeah.
So, it's
well, and that's
tough.
the person who doesn't really want to play the game they're playing. They want every game to be the... They want every game... Is he dead?
Ah!
He said something about, like, you're screwing the wrong person over. You just killed the contact.
Well, no. All I needed him to do was send a message out, and he did. I didn't mean it. I'm sorry. Next time, hopefully, we will not kill innocents. Next time, we'll take our phone call.